Good morning. Oh my word, it says no signal. Do you know why it says no signal, Jane?
Because we're not switched on.
To that switch. Bearing with. Oh, it does that when we turn everything on. Good morning. I'm really hoping everyone can see and hear us. SJ, could you please confirm? It's our first show in this here new studio.
It is.
And there's a switch over there. And everything works better when you've pressed it and switched it all on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else was on. We've done sound check. We've done
It's
everything.
funny, isn't it? Because in the old studio, I got like a routine and come in and do that switch, that switch, that switch.
Yeah.
And I just went out of my head this morning.
I think we need to put a big red box around that one.
Yeah.
Because
Turn
Natasha's
me
show
on.
the other day, we were like, why is everything not working? What's going on?
Switch the switch, yeah.
But on the preview, it showed us that that wasn't switched on. Didn't today, but it's all right. Hopefully we're here now and hopefully everyone can see and hear us. Oh, gosh, I feel like I start a lot of our shows saying that, Jane. It looks like we're live on Facebook,
Chaotic.
so that's good. And YouTube, so that's good as well.
That's what we
Crikey
want.
Bobs. I don't know. Here we go. SJ's messaging. You are live on both YouTube and Facebook. Well, that's good, isn't it?
That's good to know.
Amazing.
That's what we need.
Let's do this then. Good morning and welcome to Natasha
Hello.
Makes. Sorry if you caught that early bit. Sharon's with us. She says, good morning, ladies. There we
It's
go.
nice.
There
It's
we
good
go.
that you're here. Thank
Must
you.
remember to switch all the bits of equipment on. I think that helps.
It does help, yeah.
Jane, you've been on your holly bobs.
I have. And I come back and everything's changed and moved
know.
and I can't find a thing.
It's a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we're really bedding in well now.
Yeah, we did so much yesterday, didn't we? And got a lot done. So yeah,
And the
it's
orders
getting
are
there.
all coming out now as well. So if you are waiting on the orders, then thank you for your patience. There are a few select items. If anyone's ordered the 1 kilogram crafty fun bag, for example, those are really tricky for us because all the small things have been packed away, and for us to make those up, they weren't accessible. So you'll have found your orders come out without the crafty fun bag and the crafty fun bags to follow. There are a few other items like that that have held orders up or that the order's gone out without. So if you're in any doubt, log into your account, have a look. You may find that an order has been sent, but it says one item still remaining to be sent, and that's going to follow as soon as we open the box that it's in.
Find the box to start with is helpful, yes.
A lot of it's unpacked now.
Yes.
And we've got nice new tidy systems. Natasha's been all over the place with chalk pens and chalkboard stickers and things, and she's loving it, isn't she?
Yeah, it looks lovely. It's all compact and really well organised, so it's going to be easy to
so much easier.
Get stuff out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be great. But for now, Jane, we're letting Natasha do all that.
Yes.
And Monty, they're busy, they're doing stuff. And we are here having a show.
Yes.
And not having to get involved in the unpacking and tidying process.
It's good.
For a
it's
couple
good.
of hours.
Yeah, for a few hours.
But let's first of all see who's with us. Because it's half term some places, so some people might be around not for very long.
Away, yes.
Let's see. Pam says, good morning, beautiful peeps. Good morning to you, Pam. Bridget says, good morning. And Ginny. Pat's with us as well. Jimmy's with us. Sue, oh no, I've caught the cold, she says.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I wish you were with that, because I had the cold. It's still a little bit here.
It lingers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't caught it because I've got a strange immune system that when there's any germs around, I sort of go into overdrive and my immune system fights it really hard, but then it attacks my healthy cells. So I've just been covered in hives.
Yeah. Nice little rash everywhere. Yeah.
So yes. Oh, here we go. Sue says, good morning from Purple Sue.
Morning, Purple Sue.
She's a literal Purple Sue. Did you hear?
Yes, I heard yesterday. Yeah, I was listening in and I was in the warehouse.
Married in purple and everything.
Wonderful.
Self says, morning, girlies, you're very faint. Oh, no, come on.
Turn your sound up.
Turn your sound up, my love. Turn your sound up. We've had our sound tech guy in this morning as well.
We've had our sound tech person in this morning. We've all been balanced and everything.
Absolutely. Hello to all from a wet fern tree gully in Victoria. Oh, Bridget's still trying to get over the cold as well.
Oh, yeah. Seems to linger. Really lingers.
Oh, Tash is awful.
Yeah.
I keep telling her she just needs to go and get some homeopathic stuff now because it's just getting silly. So, yeah, that's no fun. Oh, and we've got Cynthia with us over on YouTube as well. Greetings. Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio to you. We always have to do this. It'll get dull at some point, I'm sure.
I'm sure she's never heard it before.
Never, never, ever, ever. Jane, you today are doing something rather beautiful for us.
Yes. Well, because we were having sort of a little tidy up in the warehouse, weren't we, while we were moving?
Yep.
We found some of the lovely Tilly Rose panels that we've got left over.
We did.
And one of them's, it's called Dawn, but it's got some beautiful poppies. It's a beautiful little panel. So I thought, oh, we could do a little border down the side and maybe you could just leave it like that and make it into a lovely cushion. Or I put a little saying at the bottom, put remembrance on that one.
Yeah.
And that could be a wall hanging.
But you've done that really subtly. You've popped
Yeah, I just quilted it.
Yes, so that it's a really subtle.
So it's
very
faint. You can just about see it. We might bring it off the wall and put it on close up in a moment.
Might be nice.
But yeah.
And then not be able to put it back up.
Yes. That'd be the thing, wouldn't it?
We'll do it at the end.
We'll do it at the end, just in case it doesn't go back on.
So you've got that one there.
Yeah.
We've got 2 other options as well.
Yes, and we've chosen some lovely fabrics that will go with them.
I've got a great price on these today.
2 other sayings other than remembrance, so that people have got an option if they want to do it like that. They don't have to, obviously. And we'll demonstrate the Migrating Geese border today.
Lovely.
Or the Meandering Geese, as we like to call it.
When I first tried this, I hadn't got pictures to work off. I just had wording, didn't I? Ages and ages ago. Gosh, a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jane, my geese are not so much migrating as meandering. They're all over the shop. But then I've seen imagery and actually, do as she says and it all will be fine.
Yes.
Oh, look, we have sound tech guy
Sound
up here.
tech's coming.
Bear 1 second, Josh, and I'm going overhead. We're going to look at the half-metre heavens and then Josh can get past and can do what he needs. Oh, I say this, I've got no signal showing on my overhead cam. Well, that's not what we want at all.
Oh, that's not...
Yes, we've got a couple of people saying our volume output is quite low. Well, that's not what we need. Why have I got no overhead cam? Have I got a close-up cam?
It's not been switched off. I tried not
no
to...
close-up cam. Well,
I tried not to trip over any cables when I came in this morning.
Let me see what may or may not be switched on or not.
Oh, this will be fun. We'll just have to wave it, waft it in front of everybody.
When we're doing just wide shot imagery. That's no fun at all. I love it. We've got a man on his hands and knees. It's all good fun.
Technical support.
Oh,
Josh, he's been technical IT support this morning.
Yeah, there's no power to those cameras, I'm going to say, because the viewfinders are off. Where do those get plugged in? We love it, don't we?
Behind the box unit.
Where does it lead?
Does it go under that table there?
No. No, I'm going to say it's all behind this cabinet here. Well, that's marvellous, isn't it? That's just what we want to see. I'll talk amongst yourselves, everybody. Jane, tell us about your holiday. That's going to be the thing.
Oh, I had a lovely time.
Good.
We did have a lovely time. We stayed in a gorgeous hotel, which did amazing food, which we indulged in far too much, as you do when you're on holiday.
Yeah.
We did have 2 days of torrential rain. One of the days, Glenn was doing a half marathon in that torrential rain.
Oh, gosh.
And as a half marathon runner, that's not too bad. It's quite nice having rain while you're running, apparently, so he says. As a spectator, it's not so much fun. But yeah, I had lots of coffees. I
do call him half marathon man because he does quite a few, doesn't he?
Yes,
he loves it.
He used to do lots of marathons. He doesn't do so many marathons now because he hasn't got the time for the training, because you have to do quite a lot of training for a marathon. But he just about manages to have one.
Marathons are feat enough. I mean, come on.
I've done 1 half marathon. I was never doing it again.
No.
I didn't know what to do with my legs afterwards. They hurt so much.
They didn't feel like they belonged to you anymore.
No, they were really, really sore. And you know, like when you childbirth, it's such an intensive pain, and you then forget about it.
There they are. That's the one.
It. That's how my legs were.
Man on the floor. Bear with everyone. I'm just going to see what it was that was not switched on.
Yeah, there's that one over there.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Well, it helps when she tells us, doesn't it, eh? Thank you very much. Okay, going overhead so you don't have to crawl your way out. There we are. Ta-da! Oh, he's useful, isn't he, eh? Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So after that experience of a half marathon, I said I would never, ever do it again.
No. Oh, I'm so glad we've got overhead cam. Look at that.
Oh, that's much better.
Whew.
Let's just move this out of the way so it's not
distracting.
distracting.
Do a really detailed demo.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. How am I going to show you?
This is not the kind of demo where you can do without your overhead and well, at very least your overhead.
We have got some gorgeous half
Right.
metre heavens this
Let's
week,
just
haven't we?
quickly explain what Jane's wafting in front of you. So these are our half metre heavens. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to have you with us. You'll find all of today's products on our website, natashamakes.com, the majority of which you'll see on the Make It Monday page, what am I about? Workshop Wednesday page. Crikey, it better not be Monday again, I'm exhausted.
Please not.
The Workshop Wednesday page or the Watch Live page. You'll find our products there. You can click view all and look through and purchase and enjoy. Please do. Thank you very much. It supports us here at Natasha Makes. These, however, that we're about to show you are our half metre heavens. They consist of a half metre of designer fabric, a half metre of complementary plain that we've looked at, had eyes on, and can tell you match beautifully. These go live at midnight tonight. They're our Thursday deal and we do them every week. Something different every week.
Lovely. I'm just concerned because your laptop is showing no signal still.
That's all right, don't worry about
Does it just
that.
need refreshing?
Yeah. Well, my
That's
laptop
okay.
likes to be asleep for a while. Yeah,
That's
it doesn't.
okay.
My screen, we've discovered, doesn't show what this screen shows. So go off the big screen, Jane, and you can't go
that's
far
fine.
wrong.
That's all right
No,
then.
we're all right.
I was
this
just
week.
worried that our viewers have got a no signal black screen.
But now you see what I see,
Yeah.
which is very unhelpful.
Yeah. So we've got some beautiful Tilda because, of course, we had this new collection of Tilda. It flew out and we found a few little skiddly bits on the bolt.
Yes.
So we've half metre heavened it. This is...
This is the whole collection gone now, Jane.
yeah, there's nothing left.
None.
None.
It's
Autumn
the
bloom.
fastest one.
Magenta. Is it magenta? Eggplant.
Yes.
And we have put that with our gorgeous azalea, which is just this little colour of these little harebells within this fabric. I love this collection. It's just so pretty. And then we've got some more of the same colourway. So these will all blend beautifully together.
Definitely. And the beautiful thing with Tilda as well is you can kind of mix and match across
Yeah,
collections.
they go so
because
beautifully
the
with
colour
all of
palette
them.
follows, doesn't
This
it?
is Winter Rose. And we sort of feel, don't we, that this has got sort of a little bit of a Morris
Yes.
feel, William Morris feel to it.
Definitely.
It's lovely. And that's with our spearmint, which works beautifully with the stems on the flowers and sort of pulls the pinks up.
Really
But
beautiful.
you could mix and match with those as well.
Nice.
So the two would be lovely. As we say, there's not many of these. We've got 4 of the autumn bloom and I think we've got 5 of the
Fabulous.
winter rose.
Sounds all right at itself as well now. So apparently those 2 plug sockets, one allows us to have the show on, the other one, there's so many plug sockets in here, I need to know where they all are now.
Yeah, we'll have to have
That
a
one apparently
debrief on
controls-
tech.
I know. Well, we know that new one there that he's just shown us, that's sound
Yeah.
boosting and
This is
cameras
our little
times 2.
slumber mouse. Look at him.
Now, Slumber Mouse, in
Isn't.
the other colourway actually, in the brown, was kind of the signature print.
Yes,
that
this is
was
plum. This is the plum
for the
colourway.
collection.
And we've put this
Beautiful.
with our blush because that's just this little pale colour within the leaves.
Lovely.
And he's sort of like a bluey grey, isn't he? He's so sweet. Little pink nose, which matches this colour beautifully.
Stunning.
So that's that one. And then we've got the sleeping squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel Dreams, it's called actually. And he's very snuggled up in the branches of his oak tree. Look at that, with the acorns. And this is with our sangria,
Yeah.
which is the background colour of this, which really lifts those browns and this lovely grey blue that they've used for the leaves. It's so pretty.
Half Metre Heavens are such a lovely way to buy the fabrics because we've pulled fabrics that will go with each print. And quite often, Jane, we'll pull 3, 4, 5, 6 different colours.
Yeah.
And they all look great with the fabric, but we'll choose the one that really allows that feature fabric to sing.
Absolutely.
Um,
This is the
so you
beauty of us
know-
having our planes, that we can spend time matching them because everybody's screen is slightly different, shows colours slightly differently.
yes.
And you can be sure that we'll have taken the time to make sure that it's a good match to the colours and it
Yes.
shows off the fabric to its best. This is Sleepy Bird. Look at him with the mushrooms and the berries. It's lovely. And we've got this with, is that candy blue? cyan, and that just pulls out these blues here, and there's some in the mushrooms as well. So it just really tones nicely with that fabric.
Beautiful.
And looks rather lovely with the sleepy squirrels too.
Well, this is what, this is what we're saying really. If
It
you're
all
buying-
blends beautifully.
Yeah, if you're buying a couple and they are from the same colour path on these collections, then you know that you can be able to mix and match things around.
Absolutely.
You've got a quilt.
Yeah.
If you choose the prints you love, you've got a quilt. This is Squirrel Dream in hazel. I know it says brown on that sticker, but
Yes, it's
whoever's written
hazel.
It's hazel.
And we've put that, it looks like it's hot tomato,
It is.
which just works with those acorns fabulously.
Now I've put this
Just
with our
that.
duck egg and it looked beautiful.
It did look lovely.
However, that hot tomato has just popped out that
Well, I
detail in
think
there.
you can see on the screen how that just pops those little clusters of acorns
Yes.
on that fabric. Gorgeous. Again, there's not many of these. Three. Got 3 of those. So you really are going to have to be fastest fingers first, because this is the last of the collections. So
Your mother's just arrived, so she's missed all the bit where the tech went wrong. So,
oh, thank goodness
very
for
good.
that.
Oh,
This
dear.
is some macawa that we found. I think it might have fallen down the back of the shelf, because this is a couple of seasons Christmas, isn't it? Beautiful. Polar Bear Santa Express. Look at them. They've got scarves on, Gemma. They're so cute. And there's a little bit of metallic in here, just the little dots of stars in there. And we put that with our aqua, which matches these lovely aqua scarves here. But you could have
Stunning.
put orange or red or pink or green with this. He's got multicoloured
I love
scarves.
this.
Any colour would work with that. It's so pretty.
This fabric was designed as a Christmas fabric, but for me it's a winter fabric that
It
just
is.
can be all the way through.
Just fun, isn't
Yeah.
it? We've got 3 of those. Just 3.
Nice.
This is beautiful. This is Lewis and Irene.
It is the Yuletide collection. Gold stars on cream.
Beautiful, look at that. It's so luxurious. You can see the shimmer from the metallic on there. And we've put that with our, which one is that? Is that beige? Bamboo. Yeah, the old bamboo. Isn't that lovely? That's really rich, and it just complements that beautifully.
Lovely.
You could make your Christmas crackers with that, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Gorgeous.
It would be really nice and elegant tableware, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Now this is some of the Sanderson Water Garden, again, left over from the kits that we did. This is the laburnum.
Yeah, Laburnum Falls.
Look at that, that's so rich. And we've put that with salmon, is that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
salmon. And that just works with these flowers here beautifully. Really lovely. Classic print, that one. This background is a very, very rich, deep sort of chocolate colour.
Yeah,
It's
is.
very nice. It's not. It looks a bit like it's black on the camera, but it's not. It's softer
It's a
than
warm
that.
grey, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely.
There's a definite chocolate tone to it, so warm grey. Lovely.
This is such a classic Sanderson,
Oh, I love
isn't it? Just with the
it.
peacocks.
It is classic, Jane, but the colourway gives it this really contemporary feel. It's
Doesn't
lovely.
it? Yeah, it's
This
gorgeous.
is Natasha's favourite fabric from that collection.
Yeah,
I understand why, and it's gone with rose.
isn't that lovely? That just works beautifully with this colour here. And this is a black background, so if you wanted to have a real classic, you could put black with that as well.
Actually,
You know,
it's
with
a
the
very
rose
good
and the black.
opportunity to see the two
Yes,
backgrounds
you can
there,
see
isn't it?
how
You can
different
see-
that is.
yeah.
It's a proper black this background on here, which just, again, like you say, gives it that modern feel. It's beautiful. Then we've got the Chinese lanterns.
We have.
This is so pretty. Isn't that lovely, with the pinks and the yellows? And we've put that with our buttercup.
Again, there's lots and lots of colours that will go with
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. But that buttercup looks lovely with it. It's nice and fresh. Pulls out the yellows within the design. Very pretty. Again, there's not many of these because the kit proved to be very popular, didn't it?
It did. Very
And then
popular.
we've got some more Tilda here. This is the Winter Rose in Sage. And we've put that with our fuchsia, I think, which brings out the pinks in the flowers, in the roses. and looks beautiful with this green. Real nice complement to the green colour, the sage in there.
Beautiful.
Lovely. There's only 5 of those, so again, don't hang around.
And actually, those look really lovely with some of the blue and other colourways.
Yes, they do.
Well,
This is the Sleepy Bird Lafayette.
Oh, look. Now, that doesn't look as green on the screen as it does in front of us, I'm going to say, Jane.
No,
Really
it's a
just on the
lovely,
monitor.
rich forest green. It looks a bit bluey on the camera from what I'm looking at.
Kind of browny,
But we've
yeah.
put that with our pomegranate, yes, which again is the colour of the mushrooms on here,
It's fabulous,
and
isn't
the
it?
berries, and the beak. The edge of his little beak there, where he's all snugged up. So that's really lovely. And then we've got quite a lot, haven't we, here today? But there are only a few of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Sleeping
That's your Squirrel Dream again,
Squirrel Dream
in
and
blue.
in blue.
Mhm.
And we've put that with our
Cadet blue.
Cadet blue,
Yeah.
which just is virtually the same colour as the background here. Absolutely stunning that is. I love it.
Really lovely.
I love those squirrels. They're all tucked up and cosy on their branches.
They
Cute.
are.
So cute. You can well, it says there, are they sleepy dreamings or something they're called?
Squirrel Dream.
Squirrel dreams.
Yeah.
They look like they're having a really,
They do.
really lovely dream.
Fast asleep.
Winter rose again. Look at that. That is in hibiscus. And we've put this with our candy blue, which you might at first think, why? But actually the stems on the roses here, it is, well, it could be made for it,
Yes.
you know. So that just really complements
Does
that
look fabulous
beautifully.
together.
Complements it beautifully.
Really does.
And then the last one we have here, that is
Not least.
is some more of the Sleepy Birds, and that is in the denim, which is a gorgeous blue colour again. And it has this little spray of flowers, which match this
Yep. Spearmint.
spearmint
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fabulously.
It does.
Perfect.
Looks great, doesn't
And
it?
it does. There's a lovely collection of those. And if you missed out on the Tilda before, this is going to be, really is going to be your last chance to get it from us.
It is.
Because these are the last few bits in our lovely half-metre heavens.
Do not snooze. Do not snooze. Make sure you get those. They do go live, like we say, at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
So I know there'll be those of you there.
Oh,
at
we know
5 to
you.
midnight.
We know you that are there.
11:59, you're adding them to your basket because you've seen they go live, and then checking out at 1 minute past 12. I've seen you. I know.
We know. We know.
Bravo you. I'd be the same. Jane, we've got some commentary going on. Mostly people saying, "Oh no, we can't see you." Oh yes, we can.
Yes, I
All
can.
good fun.
Refresh.
Oh, good morning from a very warm, sunny Portugal. Well, good morning to you too. That
Lovely.
sounds lovely. Claire Angelina was saying, bash it with a broom handle. I would not dare. She's also wondering how the overhead cam got there in the first place because there's no wires. Oh yeah, this is all, there's trunking and there's professional.
Oh yes, it's all
bracketing
professionally
and,
professionally fixed on. It's
professional companies come in to do it for us, but it was when we weren't here.
yes. So we didn't know where the plugs were.
We don't know where all the
Or
switches
how to
are.
switch it on.
I thought it was all going to be switched on. No. Can see hear you fine. This is good, and the sound has improved dramatically for people. I'm going to apologise for anyone who might have turned their sound right up on the telly, and then we've come through in full volume and deafened you all.
Oh dear, yes.
That wasn't our intention.
No.
No.
Sorry
Although
about
I
that.
think it was when you were speaking, and you're quieter than
Yes,
so
I have
perhaps
a
that wasn't so
lower
bad.
volume on my
Yeah,
voice. It's a
you
lower
do.
tone, isn't it, my voice
For
to yours?
sure.
Yours is nice and bright and clear.
Exactly. Oh, Claire Angelina says, I can make it to the school and back and do 9,000 steps a day, but I'm never doing a marathon or a half.
No, I don't
It's not for
recommend
everybody,
it.
is it?
I don't recommend it.
People talking about the cold as well.
Yes,
Mhm.
not much
Saying
fun.
it's a horrible strain that's going around. It really, really is. Yes, thank you very much to our very useful sound man / magician
Yes.
who's come in and flicked some switches.
It's just
and stuff,
lovely.
which is
It's
great.
lovely having him here to sort stuff out.
Claire Everett says, good morning from a misty Cheshire Fair Oaks caravan site. Please let me know if that's any good. I love a nice caravan site. It's always good to find a new one.
Yes.
Mm.
Must be quite nice if it's Cheshire Oaks as well. Lovely.
Wow, I've not been. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Sue Langford says that you've stitchy witched the camera up there. We don't let you know the technique.
No. Not
Definitely
advisable.
not.
No.
Oh, Helen Law says, morning, just about surfaced. How you doing, Helen? Hope you're okay. Oh yes, we've got lots of people all saying hello to each other as well, which is nice. And
Oh,
Jimmy's
I love that.
off this weekend to a quilt retreat.
Oh,
Jimmy,
how nice. Have a lovely
fabulous
time. Oh, that would be so lovely.
Absolutely. Oh, over on YouTube, Iona says, good morning, ladies. Looking forward to the demo. Pleased you're feeling better, Jane.
Thank you.
She's much better than she was.
I am.
Dear me.
I am.
Farmer Ali's with us and says, good morning, Jane and Gemma from a grey, cool, damp West Berkshire. Good morning. And yes, we're sorry to anyone who had volume problems and now they are sorted. Cynthia says, thank you very much, the man on the floor.
Yes.
We like having a man on the floor.
It's very good.
He
Have a man on
literally
the
was
floor.
on the floor. He's
He
crawling
literally
around
was
everywhere.
covering on his tummy, bless him.
Bless him. Jane, I'm going to go overhead and let you show everybody what the 3 options are today.
Yes, yeah.
And then, yeah, you're going to crack on
And then
do
we'll do some
demo for us,
demoing.
because we've now got the correct cameras to do
Yeah,
so,
I'm
which would be
sorry.
fabulous. No, it's fine.
So we've got the beautiful Tilly Rose Dawn panel, which has got the poppies and the leaves, and there's some daisies in there and some little hearts. It's absolutely beautiful. And we have put 1/2 metre of our postbox red bumbleberries and 1/2 metre of our ivory plain.
Lovely.
With that, you are going to have plenty enough more than you need, but we thought we'd be generous with you and give you a good value kit.
I'm browsing, Jane. I'm strolling around and browsing in a confusing manner. But we have some
These?
kits. Ah, there they are. Good-o. So, eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed, we had this particular kit, this here, on a Friday pre-order last week. And we thought we'd got loads coming in, and we bought them all, which was great. So I've got some more. This kit is $2.99. And I sat the other day with my blankets over my lap, with the dogs, you know, underneath, all nice and cosy, and watched a film and just sat and stitched this. It was so much fun.
It's lovely, isn't it?
So much fun. So I'm going to show you this, because you are able to buy these today.
This is a Trimmets kit. It's got everything you need in it. I think.
Sorry.
Do you need to add your own needle?
No.
Does it contains? Yeah, pre-cut felt shapes, instruction sheet, brooch pin, stuffing, beads, ribbon,
All I needed was
metal
scissors.
needle, which
There's
is
no
lovely.
stuffing. You don't need stuffing in this one. I'm talking
Plastic
rubbish.
needle, thread, and beads. You will need scissors
You don't
and
need a
glue.
plastic needle either. They've copied that from another
Yeah, it's copied
kit.
and pasted, isn't
But
it?
yeah, basically everything you need except scissors. And it says you need glue. I didn't need glue, and I'll tell you for why. It's because I stitched
You stitched it on, which
things
would be
on.
far more
and
secure.
I stitched this on as well. I didn't glue it. I stitched it on, as you
Lovely.
can see. So
Isn't that
it's
pretty?
such a lovely kit. If you can see, the way they've done theirs, it's only got a few little beads in the middle. But they came with loads. So me being me went, well, I shall use loads then.
I shall use
I
them
made my
all.
beady bit in the middle bigger.
That's gorgeous.
So you've got options. But I'm
Beautiful.
so pleased with it. I don't know whether we can go close up actually, Jane. Should we have a play with the close-up cam?
Let's see how we
Go
get on.
Straight on your arm then, straight on my wherever. Well, that's my head. Oh, it's my bosoms. That is not what you need to see on the close-up cam at all. Apologies, everybody. There we are.
I think the angle's
My
still
face,
not quite right on there.
My
is it?
bosoms, the whole shebang. That's what we've got. But yeah, that is your brooch. Very pleased was I with my brooch.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it was really easy. All the instructions are in the box. $2.99. What a nice little thing. So yeah, we have got some more. That will be it though. Oh, I love my... I'm not living the close-up on my face, Jane, if I'm honest.
No, I don't think I like that very much
Crikey,
either.
Bobs, we're not doing that
I just
again.
wonder if we bring the camera. Bring it a bit closer. Might work better.
The camera needs to move.
Yeah.
That's
So
a job for today.
that's the kit that I've done, the sample that's behind us.
Yes, so maybe you want to go full out remembrance, make your brooch, make your hanging that Jane's done,
Let's put that on
display it. Beautiful.
there. Fabulous.
Nice, Jane. Excellent. Next one?
This one,
Oh yeah, let's
it's
go for that one.
beautiful autumnal colours. This is called Jenny.
I love this.
I think we're quite limited stock on this one. I think
We
it was
are.
very popular at the time. And again, I've put 1/2 metre of ivory with it. And then we've got some of this Katrinka. Now this fabric is absolutely gorgeous.
It is, isn't it?
It is Free Spirits fabrics. Look at that. Look at all the colours in there that are just going to blend beautifully. But what I like, there's a little subtle detail in some of the flowers, and it's got a little print within itself. So it's almost like, you know, when you get newspaper print and you make things with newspaper and stuff like that, and you get the additional pattern.
Yeah.
This has got like a little leaf print on it.
Beautiful.
Little flowers. There's some little prints within the flowers here, little butterflies and flowers. It's just lovely, and it looks like it's been painted on wet paper, so that it's all blended in.
I love a leaf print, but yeah, it's
It's
like got
gorgeous.
watercolours going on with some leaf print and everything there, doesn't it?
It's just lovely. It's a really lovely fabric, and it just works beautifully with that panel. And because we're only going to use a small amount of it, you're going to have quite a lot left over to do other projects with.
It's great.
And we use small amount for the triangles for the Migrating Geese. So you'll get lots of different variation of colours as well in that one.
Beautiful.
So that's that one. See if I can get that up there as well.
That's right.
I don't know the towel might be a bit.
She's putting things nicely on display behind me. Isn't that good?
There we
We'll have a
go.
look in a minute.
Huh.
Me removing
Might
bits
not.
of fluff off the mat.
And then we've got the Sylvia one, and this is the one I'm going to demonstrate with today. And I found this fabric. I think it's quite new to us, isn't it? This one.
It is.
And I said, Gemma, can I use some of this? Because these colours go beautifully with this panel.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? That looks
Look at that.
great together.
It's
And I'm gonna
virtually all
say,
of the
Jane,
fabrics in there.
I know it's not your demo today, but even if we took this panel and sashed around the outside with that
Just
to make
that.
a big pillow
Yeah,
cushion, it'd look great,
it
wouldn't
would.
it?
And you'd have plenty. You'd
Yeah.
have plenty. You could make a really big cushion with that. It's just lovely.
Beautiful.
You know, you don't have to be, you don't have to be too fussy with it sometimes. Sometimes just making a nice frame with something is just all you need.
That's another Katrinka fabric. So it's from a collection called Nature's Contours. Really lovely.
This is a beautiful panel. And I think Tilly had designed these initially to be embellished and things like
Yeah.
that. And of course you can do that with the panels. I haven't done any embellishment. I've done a very simple meander quilting on it. But you could go back and you could add beads and buttons and embroidery stitches and embellish it all sorts of ways. You know, there's so many things that you could do with it. It's just a lovely option.
Absolutely.
So
exciting stuff, Jane.
yeah, it's all good. The instructions are
Yeah, already
all ready to
format.
go. I just need to proofread them, make sure I've not made any
Yeah.
errors.
So the digital will go up once we've done that, once we've printed and made sure that everything's displaying correctly. The printer people will be coming in to move the printer from the old premises to here, at which point things will get up quicker.
Yes.
But until then, our digitals are slightly delayed whilst we
Yeah,
get
we're trying to get
to the other
everything sorted.
side, print everything.
And
to
because
check it
I've been on holiday, we're a
Well,
little
you know,
bit
it's
behind,
just
aren't
rude
we,
of you, Jane, to be honest.
with proofreading and stuff. I sent the instructions.
How dare you?
but
How
yes,
dare you go on
have
holiday?
time all to myself.
Fabulous time.
So I've trimmed this panel down
Yes.
to make it slightly smaller because there's quite a lot of border around it that has nothing written on it. On the one I've used, I've left Tilly's sort of like signature, if you
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
on the bottom, just because I thought it was a nice thing to do. It sort of gave it sort of like a framed painting feel to it. But you can see, you could actually trim that off if you felt so inclined, because it's quite away from the design.
Personal preference, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's up to you. All the cutting instructions are obviously within the pattern, but I've trimmed this down to make it to fit to the size I want. Cut the squares. I've cut so many squares in the ivory and then cut them in half to make half square triangles. And then the print, again, I've cut the required amount of squares. And then we cut these in half through one diagonal. And then we cut them in half again through the opposite diagonal to give us quarter square triangles. So you can see, again, you know, you could fussy cut your square to give you all of the colours you needed, but I think I've just really cut mine as I went. But you know, you can see from this lovely fabric, we can get all the colours that are going on within this project. You won't need to use all of your triangles either, so you'll have some left over. So it gives you scope. You've got plenty of fabric anyway, but it gives you scope that if you wanted to, you could have virtually all the same colour.
You could.
Or you could mix and match, and you could fussy cut and pick your prints as you went, sort of thing. So you could put a pile of sort of bluey green ones, you could have a pile of orange ones.
You've got some practice pieces there as
Yeah,
well, Jane, haven't
absolutely.
You? If there's anything you're not fond of and you want to have a quick play
You
with
think,
it.
oh, well, maybe I don't like that one, it looks a little bit stripy or whatever. You can just, you know, move them around. You could put them into piles so that you've got, as you're working, you can then pick one from there, one from there, one from there. If you felt the need to, you might just want to have them in a random pile and just go for it. So the Meandering Geese border. Migrating.
Sorry.
It became
my nickname's stuck,
you know,
isn't
it's one of those things, isn't it? When you have a word at home that your child's used and it becomes part of your family vocabulary, doesn't it? Meandering Geese has become part of our work vocabulary because it was quite funny.
Oh dear. We've got a quick message here from Jane who says that she really appreciates the colour matching on the half metre heavens because she never seems to get it right unless she plays ultra safe and all of our matches are spot on. That's kind of the point, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
And
it's
Natasha's got
impossible
such a
to
great
match
eye with
yeah.
colour, so we're
She has.
confident that the colour is going to be beautiful.
But it's also impossible to match on a screen. It
Yeah.
really is.
You
We'll
can't
be
do
the
it.
first to say that.
All monitors on computer screens are slightly different, show colours slightly differently, don't they? And the same with your television, you know. Television shows up colours differently and things, so
And
you never
Farmer
know.
Ali says the chaps her way appreciated the bosom close-up cam.
I bet they did.
Oh,
It's got a fabulous
Slightly
cleavage of our
mortified
Gemma.
now.
Lovely.
Sylv says, I nearly saw the peanuts you're saving down the crumb catcher shelf. Oh,
Fabulous.
dear.
Poor Gemma, she's
Oh, well.
just dying on the spot here as we're talking.
We'll
Give us
not
through
go
it.
front cam again until I stop blushing. Sharon says, looks amazing, Gemma. I'm really hoping she means my brooch.
Yes.
Not my bosoms. Oh, my word.
Right. So we start off with one of our half square triangles and have it with the long edge facing on your right hand side. Now if you're left handed and you're working this, you'll possibly work from the other way. It won't matter, but if you find it's a struggle if you're left handed, you might find it easier to just sort of like do it in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put this triangle onto there first. And you're like looking at that and you're like, well, that's
They don't fit,
fit
Jane,
and
they
to
don't
fit. But you've got your seam allowance, don't forget.
Yeah.
So what we do on this occasion is we match up the points of the triangle. We've got this bit here, which will be our seam allowance.
So your right angle bit, you don't
Yeah,
match.
You don't match. You're
top
matching
pointy
up
bit.
on the top pointy
Okay,
bit.
that makes more sense. Jane, we're going to try the close-up can. I'm going to try not to be embarrassing and pop my bosoms or my head or anything else in there. That's your shoulder currently.
Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? I'm going to have to stand to one side of this
That's okay.
to get that
Marvellous.
in. Find the foot as
Does
well. I
that
should
work for you?
check that. I think we'll be okay.
Lovely.
Okay.
Great.
So we're now going to press that, and we'll press it so that the seam goes underneath the coloured
Nice.
pattern fabric. Okay.
Do you want me to pop an iron onto it?
It might
It's
help.
not very hot, to be fair.
No, but probably enough to just.
Give it a moment.
Because I had it on earlier to press the panels, and then
Turn it
because your
off again.
panels will come folded and quite creased when you open them out, but I just spritzed it with a bit of flatter, and
Perfect.
they came out no problem. So then we put the next one on. Now I just have to refer to my panel here because I just have to make sure that I get it the right way. I always have to refer to the instructions. So we're going to put that one onto there, like so. which again, you're probably looking at it and you're thinking, well, that's not going to work. But we placed that one. Let me just check this because it always...
Yeah, no, that
I
looks
always
good.
just get it not quite. Yeah, so it sits on there, and then when we fold that back, I think I've done this the wrong way actually. This is what happens when you've done the instructions quite a while ago, and then you have to remember what you did.
That's all right, Jane.
Let me just do that.
It's
Yes.
also definitely...
So I will line that up with that edge there and make sure that the point is on the seam, because you've got to think about your 1/4 inch. So we can sew this now. We're going to sew it along there, which obviously it doesn't fit onto there, and it's not meant to, and we'll see why in a moment. So when I fold this back, you've got those two edges of the triangle in a line, and you've got the gap from the point of the background triangle, the ivory, there's sort of a 1/4 inch gap there.
Yeah.
And again, you look at this and you're thinking, if we can just have a little push of that on with the eye and just flatten it.
Of course.
That's lovely. We're now going to trim this on that edge there. So we're just going to trim that down so it's level with that edge of the triangle, the pattern piece of triangle. So we're just basically taking the edge of that triangle off. So now we've got this. So the next one we're going to put on is we're going to put another background triangle on. Now I have to think about this now because it's that way. I have to look at it because I'm upside down looking at it.
Yeah,
exactly. It goes like that, comes on there. So we line up the edge of that triangle with that edge. So looking at it that way, it sits on top of that top triangle with the points matching, and so the 1/4 inch seam is down here, the overhang, and all of those edges there line up.
Marvellous.
So we sew along that line there, 1/4 inch seam, and what you'll tend to find with if you've got your 1/4 inch foot or you've moved your needle across, you'll start on where the point of the triangle meets the edge of the fabric.
Oh, okay.
So while we're still on close-up, probably you're just getting the back of my shoulder, aren't you, at the moment?
No, it's fine.
You can just see that just starts on that edge there.
Yeah. Great.
So when I fold that back, it sits like that.
Brilliant. And it's having these points of reference that really helps. And that's why, Jane's saying she refers to the instructions, but when I had those images and everything all together,
Yeah.
it made sense, it clicked, and I could do it.
Yeah.
But just having one part of it, no.
No, it doesn't always work, does it? So now we're going to take this triangle and we're going to place that there basically, so that we're going to sew that onto that flat edge, so that the longest edge of that triangle will go against this straight edge on this one. Now here we have to think about our seam allowance on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have an overhang at the top and the bottom, and if you look at your triangle where it sits, you've got sort of a 1/4 inch here, so it sits across there,
Oh, yes.
and it sits a 1/4 inch up from this seam here.
Yes. There it is.
It's not easy to see, but once you get
No,
into
you
the
can
rhythm
see it
of it, you'll
nicely.
notice that quite
Mm-hmm.
quickly. So we're going to sew along this edge here.
So this is how you make sure that your geese migrate and don't meander.
Yes, so they try and stay straight rather than going wobbly.
And this is where, on my first attempt, it didn't go quite according to plan because I didn't have these visuals.
Yes. No, you'd only got the written, hadn't
But you
you?
can see that really nicely on camera, Jane. That's really helpful.
So
are we close-upping still? Sorry.
no, it's fine. I'm just pushing, moved across. We'll get used to these new angles.
Yeah, we will. We will.
So we've got that pressed back so the seam goes underneath the fabric, and if you can see there, you've got this continuous line of the 2 triangles there with your 1/4 inch-ish gap there. So your next triangle will sit on there. So it goes across there.
Just pop an iron on the block you've done so far.
Yeah, so far that'd be lovely.
Why
Thank
not,
you.
Jane?
Let's get a bit out of the way. Thank you, Gemma,
There we go.
my glamorous assistant.
That's all right. We have again.
So we're going to
try.
place this on here, and again we have to think about our seam allowance, top and bottom. But what actually happens, I don't know if you can see it, the point of this triangle here
Yes, hits there.
sits the seam.
Ooh, Jane.
So
Marvellous.
you're pretty certain that you've got that centralised then. If you're really unsure about it, you could always just fold your triangle in half and just give it a little finger press there so you've got a crease, and then you can line that crease up with that seam. But what you're aiming for is a 1/4 inch overhang here and a 1/4 inch overhang there.
Yeah.
And again, we're just going to
Great.
sew straight across there.
Perfect.
So basically, after you've got those first few on, your background triangle, your cream, ivory, whichever colour you're using, sits across the 2 edges of the little triangles of your pattern print. I need to be aware that I need to step back when I'm doing the sewing.
all right.
I'm so used to standing over it.
Nope, you're fine.
So you're aiming to have, and I've probably just come a little bit too far across here, but I do find that for the first few, I do unpick and reposition it quite a few times. Not the same triangle, but if I were at home, I would unpick that and just move. It's 2
Shimmer
threads.
that way a little.
It's not going to, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to go into your seam allowance.
It is.
But it will prevent it meandering.
Yes, which
Because
is what I was doing.
For every couple of threads that you come across, you're going to place your next triangle up there, and eventually with all these few threads here, it will tend to wander across and not be straight. So at home, I would probably take the time just to unpick that and just bring it. And of course, by the time...
Now, Jane, is it rattling your cage?
No, I'll be fine. Because I'll have unpicked it, I will have like a stitch line that you can see. So then you've got a line to match up with the edge here.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to worry about it. So that gets pressed back that way. So if we can just give that a little dip on the iron. And so now we're going to place our next triangle, and that's going to sit on there.
Oh, look at the colours as it comes through, Jane.
It's lovely, isn't it? So this one, again, you want your 1/4 inch overhang either side, and if you just bring that across slightly, if you can imagine that the point of your triangle, your pattern triangle, is underneath there, they will line up. It's like a 1/4 inch either side on that bit there. It's like a visual that you can see. If you wanted to, on your very first few goes, you could mark your 1/4 inches on your triangles with your fabric marker.
Yeah.
Anything that helps you just to keep it straight. And at the end of the day, if it's a little bit wobbly, it really doesn't matter. You're going to add borders to the side of it so you can sort of fudge it into your seam allowance. And it will you'll get it to look straight. So that
Jane,
goes
I'm
across
loving
there.
this and the way the colour's coming through on that Migrating
It's lovely,
Geese
isn't it?
border.
So now we've done the 2 colours, we've got our 2 long sides, so we now need to put our cream on. And we'll carry on working our way up, doing the same thing now. I'm just going to press that so that it just sits flat. It does help to press it as you go, so maybe have your iron on your workstation, right next to your workstation, or use it to get your steps. It's a good way of getting your steps up, walking to your iron every time.
It is.
Again, we'll line that up across there. We're aiming to have it so that the point sits on the seam.
Yep. That is a really useful point of reference, that, Jane.
And also, you know, I'm not pinning, but if you feel more comfortable pinning it, you go ahead and pin it.
Jane, we generally say, don't we, when you're working on a patchwork project, try to use the same machine consistently across that project.
To give you your consistent quarter of an inch.
The quarter inch can vary.
It can.
With this, I'm going to say that seems even more important.
It is quite important. Now you can see I've got that position nicely, so I've got a nice straight edge there.
Straight on your chest. There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
It's going to be known as boob cam.
It is, isn't it?
It's not Natasha's boob cam though. She's a foot taller.
Yes,
so she's fine.
Yeah. So you can see that now runs straight across there. So this is the outside edge of our border. You can make migrating geese borders as big or as small as you wish.
Yes.
You know, you can incorporate them within a block. You could have a square of fabric and have, you know,
I was
legs
just
of migrating going around a square.
With this here, how amazing it would look if you did one all the way
Yeah,
around.
absolutely.
And you've got
it's
loads
just
of fabric,
stunning.
haven't you?
Yeah, you've got enough fabric to do that, should you wish to.
It'd look amazing, wouldn't it?
But you can see how lovely this fabric is in the way that it's got such a diverse pattern, but it picks up all the colours.
Beautiful.
And it's just a case now of working your way across. So now you've got this flat edge here. You always have to think that you take in alternate, so you do a background and you do a pattern. So your pattern now is going to sit, I'm going to see if I can get one that's a bit more pinky. There's a nice pink one there. Sits across there because you're always aiming to have those two edges of the small triangle so that you can then put your background triangle on. So you're actually working alternately. You do a patterned, a plain, a patterned, a plain, a patterned, a plain, and it carries on. And it's a really nice pattern to work on. It looks complicated, but it's actually quite straightforward.
I'm wanting to OCD all over the place though, look. I want to pick all your next triangles.
Yeah. Yeah, really good fun with it.
Love it.
And you've got a pattern fabric like this. And the Katrinka that we've got with the autumn one, with the Jenny panel, well, you will have the same thing happening. Because it's quite a diverse pattern, you know, it's got lots of things going on with it, and you're cutting little triangles from it. You're going to have really good fun.
That will look beautiful when it's done.
So that's the next one going on there. And again, I probably will unpick this one actually. I haven't put that quite in the right place, so you can see it's come right down.
Well, that's okay.
So
again, you know, it's all about showing the process, Jane, isn't it?
I need my wonky glasses too.
You need your wonky glasses.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go onto a wider shot for Jane's wonky glasses because she does need to go and get some new ones. You've got your own picker.
Yeah, I'll just use this big pin. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So I can just use my pin. I'm just going to unpick this quickly as I can because using a pin is not ideal, but it works. Nobody knows where anything is. We've all got our trolleys all over the place. And
oh no. I thought I found one, but it's a stiletto.
But we've all done it at home. Just use the pin quickly just to unpick something. It's only a short seam and it doesn't take long to unpick. And nice bit of dead air while I unpick them. There we go. It's all come out. There we go. So, as I said, I've got this stitch line now that I can see, so I can actually bring that across and I can see that will now sit either side of that line.
Yes.
You'll find this, you'll do a couple and you'll be like, oh, I've not got that straight.
Do you know, I got into last time I worked on one, I got into a real flow where they were like bam, 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 really perfectly. And then all of a sudden, I stitched one on and went, well, that's completely wrong. Unpicked it, stitched it on again, completely wrong.
Yeah.
I just thought, what's going on here? And because I'd had ages of just literally, and they were looking beautiful. And this one
it
block,
lulls you into a full sense of security, and then one will just go off a little bit.
This one, I just could not stitch it right, and I had to go off. I had to go and make a brew.
Have a cup of tea, sit down and think, you know, get away from it for a little bit.
Swore at it a bit, and then went had a brew, came back, picked a different triangle up, straight on,
Yeah.
line.
It
Ridiculous,
happens.
isn't it?
It
But every now and
happens.
again it does happen.
Just to sort of, you get lulled into I know where I'm going here, and then
It doesn't
suddenly,
matter how long you've been doing it for, does it?
No,
It will happen
it
every
happens
now
to
and again.
everybody.
It's knowing the point at which you just need to say, right, okay, no,
Yeah.
I'm stopping now and I'll take
I
it
just
back
need a
up
break from it, and I'm going
Yeah.
to walk away.
Absolutely. We've had this before as well with putting binding on was one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've had a mare with that before. Natasha just trying to join the two pieces.
Joined
and there
in,
was a twist.
you know, that we do it like
And,
without even thinking about it, and then
yeah.
suddenly it's upside down and inside out,
Yeah.
and you're like, how have I done that?
But we've all done it where we've
Yeah.
tried to join two pieces of binding and we've got, why is there a twist? Unpicked it, done it again and gone, there's a twist again.
Yeah.
And that is the point at which you know you've just lost it for a
Yes.
little while. You just need to let it be.
So I'm going to put another triangle on here, and then
Lovely.
I'm going to show you how we finish off.
Lovely.
Obviously, in the instructions it tells you how many triangles to put on to make your border as long as it needs to be.
Yes.
But I think, you know, we might all just lose the will if I carry on and making them. So sit on the top of there.
Oh, beautiful.
We can bring that across. Oops, bring it this way. So if you imagine you've put all the triangles on that you need to make your border,
Yes.
you're now going to put your final large triangle on
Yeah.
across the corner as you would do normally. So you will have that effect going on. I'll just give that a press.
Of course, no problem.
And then move. And then you're going to have a little square in your cutting instructions, and you're going to cut that into a half square triangle. And you're only going to need one of them, so that can go into your scrap or your stash or whatever you want to do with it. If you feel that you can use that little triangle to make something with, you go ahead. And then you're going to put this little triangle on that corner, and again you want the 1/4 inch overhang top and bottom, and you'll have what is in effect a 1/4 inch overhang from the edge of the seam here. That's another good sort of point of reference.
Perfect. And then it's just making sure that little tiny triangle doesn't shift as you go through the machine,
Yeah,
isn't
of course.
Because
You
it's
probably
really
want to pin it.
tiny.
That has not sat, it would normally, if I'd done it properly and not been rushing, it would sit square.
Okay.
Again, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to go into my seam allowance.
Yes.
I've got 1/4 inch here and here, so I'm not worrying about it.
No tears to be shed today, Jane.
No, absolutely not. If it bothers you about the little tails, you can trim those off as you go, particularly with the dark red I found with the red. I found it was a good idea to trim these bits here off because
That's
the
for
red,
copy kit, Jane.
yeah.
Yeah.
because the red was showing through.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I just took the ruler and just lined it up with my 1/4 inch seam there and just trimmed them off like that. They just come off, you end up with lots of little bits. And the same with these tails here. When you finish doing your whole border, if you want to put your ruler on and just trim those off to give you a nice edge so it doesn't distract you from when you're adding your border to either side. So you've got an inch strip of fabric which is the same length as your panel, which will be the same length as your border. You just sew that either side, 1/4 inch, press it back,
Yeah.
so it just forms a frame on either side of your border, and then you attach that to your panel, so you'd have this effect going on.
Oh, that's really smart, isn't
Now
it?
at this point you could stop and you could make just that into a cushion. We've got that's sort of squared it off in effect, And we've got lots of different ways of finishing your cushion. You might want to use the concealed zip finishing or the envelope back finishing. You might want to add a piped border or a flanged border, all of the things that you could do. You've got plenty of fabric in your kit to do all sorts of finishing. We've still got some flanged piping, which look gorgeous.
I was about to say, with this, there's so many colours.
Yeah.
And we've got lots of colours of flanged piping.
Yeah.
Jane's tutorials for cushion finishing with flair, I have to say, are amazing. I've loved it, and I've made cushions, and people just are absolutely aghast at the fact that they are not shop bought, because they do look
so really professional. Yours are gorgeous.
And my flanged finish, I'm very proud of my flange, Jane.
Yes,
really
so you should be.
Should be, always. But honestly, the colours as well we've got would look stunning.
Yes, we've got some lovely.
And if you're not quite sure, maybe you're going to add some to your basket with your kit, and you want us to just have a look and see if we think it's the right one. If there's another one that's a shade different, we can swap it over. Just pop a note on your order and say, can you check my
you might
flange
say,
against my kit?
if you were having this panel, you might say, would you pick out the pink in that, or the yellow, or the green? There's some blue. There's even a little bit of mauve in there.
There is.
So, just a note on your order, and we're happy to do that for you.
You might have put a tealy colour in there and think, is it the right one? Just pop a note on to say, can you check it against my kit? And we'll have a look.
Yeah.
Maybe you're buying the red kit and you've chosen something, or one of the autumnal ones. We will have a look, and if we think one's better, we can just swap that over for you.
Yeah, we'd happily do that for you.
Of course, always.
So in your pattern, you'll get your templates of the letters. Now I've done the remembrance.
Wrong one.
See my dandruff?
Sorry,
my cat hairs.
No, it's honestly threads everywhere.
So the remembrance, it just fits on the border to go at the bottom. You really have got to think about this. I've put a line through the middle so that is the centre of the word.
Brilliant.
Just fold your panel that you've cut in half, and you can line that up with that line there, and then you'll know that's sort of in the middle, and you've got plenty of room. You want to have the lettering. Just make sure you've got at least 1/2 inch either side, so that, because you will have your seam allowance and everything else going on there. But just using, I use the iron off marker, I just trace the letters through, because I've done it the right way. Now, if you wanted to cut out the letters and put them on, in a fabric, rather than just having the outline,
applique.
all you need to do on this copy, on your photocopy that you get, it might not be as easy, but if you held that up to the window, with the reverse, it would show through.
Right.
And then you can put your Bonder web or your steamer seam or whatever you use onto there, trace the letters off, and then iron it onto some fabric and cut them out. So there's the options there of having it like I've done it, where I've just quilted around the letters.
Yeah.
Or you could use a coloured thread if you wanted to, or you could actually cut the letters out of fabric, whichever you felt was nicest for you. And again, I've given you 3 different words there. I felt rejoice worked with this one, just because it's so beautiful and lovely colours.
Lovely.
Autumn for the more autumnal panel, the Jenny one, and remembrance, or neither, none of them. You might just want to make it into a cushion and have it. It's completely up to you. The options are there for you to make it your own. You might even want to use this panel and have somebody's name underneath it and make it into like a little door hanging or something for somebody.
And we do have an alphabet as well, so I'll make sure that I get that tagged into today's collection for anyone who wants to applique something different. Jane, perhaps you could open the Katrinka out and just show everybody, but that fabric is beautiful, and if you wanted to applique with that, it would look gorgeous.
Is this the...
the one that came with this.
This one here.
That would look stunning appliqued on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you've got lots of options there with that, because that is just a gorgeous fabric. Yeah. It's a joyful fabric as far as I'm concerned. It's lovely.
Really lovely.
There's also the option with these big prints like this, is to cut around them and applique them on. I think Natasha showed that way of doing that when she did her flower vase with the cave, didn't she?
Yeah.
There's just so many things you can do with a beautiful print like this.
There really is.
Lovely.
Tagging all the flanged piping as well, making sure that that's there for everybody. because we have got some beautiful...
We've got some gorgeous colours of
We've got some really nice neutral tones, some taupey tones, things like that would look great with the Jenny panel. We've got a fabulous red, so it would look brilliant with the Dawn. But then again, you know, you could put something neutral with that as well. With this, you've got all the colours under the rainbow that would just look great.
The Dawn panel's got a little bit like wheat sheaths going through it, so a nice little beige or tan would look lovely with that as well.
Yeah.
Or equally stunning, a nice black one. Would really frame it.
Yep, absolutely. A really smart frame around the edge, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So once I'd done my panel with my wording on, I traced my letters off and then attached that to the bottom of my wall hanging. Mm-hmm. I then layered it and quilted it.
Yes.
And across the panel here, I just did a little meander. I didn't do much to it, but you could accent some of the flowers or some of the leaves. Again, as I said, you know, this is there for embellishment, really. You know, it's begging to be embellished.
Of course.
You could cut out flowers from this and add them onto it, applique them on. You could embroider stitches, you know, like embroidery, like your daisy chain and stuff like that. Add beads and buttons. You could do all sorts of things. And for a wall hanging, you can do that, and possibly for a cushion front as well. It just gives so many options for you. It's just a lovely...
I have got a Dawn
lovely
panel.
Creative piece of fabric.
Beautiful. I have got a Dawn panel that I've been working on, which is the poppies panel.
Yes.
And yeah, again, I've got some seed beads, I've got some embroidery threads, and I've been working with those. But also, Jane, because you've got these lovely hearts, and there are amazing, like we say, Dawn, Tilly intended these to be used with paints and everything. But there are amazing liquids that you can use that you can put onto fabric that give a glossy 3D finish.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been accenting the hearts. But I've had little seed beads that I've put in and put into the middle of here. So I will carry on working on that and add some pictures at some point. But when I've done mine, then again, I can include that into the wall hanging that you've done. Shall we take it off the wall? Shall we
see if we can?
And then we can show. Hang on, she's put it up with great detail, hasn't she? It's been thoroughly put up with proper tape and everything. Oops. There we go. Cause carnage we shall. She's not here, so we can
get away with it.
There we are. Look
but you
at
can
that.
see I just quilted around. I used my walking foot, just took my time with my walking foot, stopped, did a little bit, stopped, you know, just carried it on. I just felt that was nice, just having the tone on tone feel to that.
Fabulous.
But equally, you could have done it I could have done it in a colour to make it stand out more. Or, as I say, you could have appliqued the letters on if you really wanted it to stand out.
Definitely.
And then the binding is our standard binding around the edge.
Beautiful.
And the instructions for binding are in the pattern, but if you wanted more detailed instructions, we do have a workshop leaflet for that as well. So,
we do. It looks great, Jane.
I think it's a nice. It's fairly quick, you know. And if I took that under, you can see how that would make a lovely cushion panel as well. You'd finish your binding across the bottom of that. That would make a lovely cushion. You could equally make another border and put it out the other side as well. As Gemma said, you could frame the whole thing with the border going all the way around.
It could. It'd look great.
It would look lovely.
I think especially on the one that you've demonstrated on today, Jane, because you've got that range of colour.
It's really pretty.
So there's a lot to explore with the colours, isn't there?
Absolutely.
There is. Cynthia says, genius piecing. I was wondering how you got the geese to migrate. I really didn't get it until you got to the third round.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
And then you get
need
a
to get
flow,
this bit, and then it carries on.
Like I said, there gets to a smug bounce where you just piece, and they're all going together perfectly. And you're like, oh, what? How did I ever get any of these wrong? And then there will be the one that trips you.
It decides it's not going
stop.
to fit.
Yeah, and you just stop, and you have a cup of tea, and you come back to it, and all is well with the world. But don't forget, you have got the Sylvia option with this beautiful Katrinka. You've got the Dawn option.
This is the beautiful.
With your Lewis and Irene bumbleberries. And also the Jenny. I mean, look at that. I feel it's a shame we've not been able to show that one made up.
Yes.
Because that will be outstanding. So if you do make that one, please do pop images onto our Community Makes page for the world to see,
Yeah.
because it will be beautiful. I think that'll be great.
We are limited numbers on this one, so you know, if you
Yes.
really love this, don't
I think we're
delay.
limited numbers on a few. You know,
Yes.
we're looking at. We haven't got crazy amounts of any of them left.
No, that's true.
But they are dwindling throughout the show, as I'm seeing. We also, don't forget, you have got time to get your poppy brooch, and then you can make one like I did. And trust me, they're very easy, lovely activity for an afternoon, and then you get something that you're really proud of at the end of it.
There's maybe something that you'd want to do with a grandchild or a niece
Yes.
or a daughter, something like that.
There
Son
we go.
that likes embroidering and sewing.
There we go. And I've done mine with my my leaf at 11 o'clock, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
With a poppy, the leaf is supposed to sit at 11 o'clock. There we are. Look at that.
Lovely.
Well, Jane, all the things.
All the things.
Lots of things for people to play with. We've got stuff to do now, however.
Yes,
We've got
we have.
more orders to sort out and pack.
Getting to the bottom of them.
We
We're
need to
getting
get
there.
some prepped and ready for next week's shows
Yes.
as well. So that's all coming too. Please do remember to get your kits. At midnight tonight, we have got the Half Meter Heavens launching, so
Yes,
those will be
don't
out.
miss out on those.
No, keep your eyes out for
Limited
the Friday
numbers.
newsletter. SJ's got some great stuff in there. She's got
Yes.
some deals. She's also got some exclusive new items too. So keep your
Oh,
eyes
lovely.
peeled and get those. And we'll be back with you again for the next live show on Monday at 10 a.m. with Natasha.
Lovely.
We will.
Look forward to it.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your patience and for your support as well through our move. We've really appreciated it. And we will see you very, very soon. Take care. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.